Hey THP, Chris, much more 18, has asked us to kind of give some thoughts as former Granddaddy participants on a couple of topics for you guys. The first one is, what do we know about the Granddaddy going into it? Our particular year, my first year was 2015. Honestly, I knew a little bit about what was going to happen just based on following along from the beginning. I knew that something was always going to be unique. Each year had something different. Each year had something that would allow it to stand out from the previous year, whether it was the selection of clubs that we were going to be fitted into, swag, logo kind of changed a little bit through the years. Me meeting and interacting with a couple of different people. So all in all, I kind of had a pretty decent idea of what to expect, but at the same time, I knew to kind of expect the unexpected. I kind of knew we'd be treated as close to tour pros as we could. We were going to get some insight into some of the brain trust and some of the brightest minds in golf that worked with Callaway at the time we were there. It was an open book. We were going to be able to ask questions as internet golfers and golfers like us who like to peel back the layers a little bit. If you're a tech guy or club design or putters or whatever it was, you were going to be able to have your front row seat, have your question answered, and truly try to understand the brand, understand the people behind the brand, and in a lot of ways just understand how a release cycle works and how they go about making sure they bring to market the product that they feel the market needs at that point in time. So like I said, we had an idea of what it was going to happen, but you kind of go into it and expect the unexpected is kind of what I would say.
What's up, Team THP? J. Lou here. Your Ask Captain Much More shot out some questions to former Grandaddy alumni and asked us if we wouldn't mind putting some thoughts together. So the first question that he asked was, what did you know about the Grandaddy going into your year? So for me, my first year on THP was 2016. I joined in May and just so happened to be lucky enough to follow along one of your teammates, Grandaddy, and his team in Carlsbad, who happened to win the belt for the first time and beat Team Callaway. What I remember most about that is the pure joy and happiness that reading a bunch of words in a forum brought as I'm following along live. I still remember I was pulling into my neighborhood, so probably shouldn't have been reading the forum, but driving into my neighborhood when that final putt fell and we all knew that Team THP had won. It was crazy to me to think that as I'm reading this in Ohio, 2,000 miles away, I'm feeling joy, I'm feeling happiness, I'm excited myself for guys that I'd never even met, guys that I'd never even seen, and I'm, again, 2,000 miles away watching and reading them do this. So what stuck out to me most was just the fact that there's so many people that are engaged, there's so many people that are following, and there's so many people that are invested in you having a good time, you being successful, and you enjoying yourself in what is really a trip of a lifetime. So keep that in mind as you go through this whole journey, and we look forward to following along.
Howdy guys, it's Mancest over from THP, the Hacker's Paradise. Trying to prep Grandaddy folks for the unpreppable, honestly. First question that was asked was, what did I know about the Grandaddy going in? And for me, I followed every Grandaddy up to, and actually my Grandaddy is probably the one I followed the least closely. It's the event, the original Grandaddy was the event that kind of brought me into THP. I was a lurker, I had created an account, I posted occasionally, but that first Grandaddy was just, holy crap, how is this happening? Like, this is the most surreal, amazing thing that could ever happen for a group of internet golfers. And it really opened my eyes to what THP was and what it could be. So I was very, very cognizant of the Grandaddy and a lot of the participants going into my year, which was 2022.
What's up, THP? This is Templeton, formerly Templeton 80, formerly Kodiak, formerly Nevada golfer. Coming here to answer some questions about the Grandaddy that we were asked, and the first one is, what did I know about the Grandaddy before really attending? And the answer is not a whole lot. The first one that I really kind of followed was in 2019. I didn't really follow it that much because I was kind of brand new to the forum, but I will say that I think that's one thing that kind of got me hooked to the forum. And then I followed the 2021 Grandaddy after all the chaos that was the quarantine and all that, and that's one I followed along and just saw how awesome of a time they had, and I really wanted to go. Was lucky enough to get into the 2022 Grandaddy, and it was an awesome experience. So didn't really know what to expect. I mean, I kind of knew, but didn't know. You think you know, but you don't know, kind of thing is how it was. But yeah, not a whole lot.
What did I learn my year? I learned a bunch. Some of the stuff that doesn't always come through the forums. I'll give a couple. One of them is really the Callaway guys. Those are some of the nicest human beings on the planet. They are golfers and they're passionate about their sport. They're passionate about trying to help every golfer get better in all the segments. Every incremental gain they can get. You see the mottos plastered across the walls when you get to go there. But you see it and you hear it when they talk, and they're golf nerds like the rest of us. It is amazing getting to pick some of their brains and see that they are just as much into golf as we are and love the technology, love the aspect of the equipment just as much as we do, if not more.
Wow, this is a loaded question. So what did I learn from the Grandaddy after experiencing it? Most of you that have followed along and know me personally and or through the forum know the story about my grandfather. 2 weeks before I left to go to the Grandaddy, he was given 2 weeks to live, and I had planned on canceling going in the event that he did die, but he made me promise that I would go because he's the one that taught me how to play, gave me my first Callaway club. But overall I learned that life is precious, and we've been blessed to be able to just experience this game, whether you're good, you're bad, or not much of a player at all. Callaway really nails home, and THP, between the two of them, give you the opportunity, no matter your experience level, to go to such an event like this that's once in a lifetime. I'll never get to go back to something like this, more than likely, unless I'm ever blessed to be selected as an ASCAP, but I doubt that'll happen. But either way, even if I don't get to go again, I cherish every memory from that. I've met lifelong friends, still communicate with some of the Callaway exec. It just opens things up, and it took me back to why I started playing the game. And I try to take that into consideration, and it gave me just a whole new perspective on the game and just life in general. And it's ever life-changing. If you really go with an open mind and try to soak it all in, it will be very valuable to you.
One thing that I learned about the Grandaddy after experiencing it was that everyone at Callaway is a regular person just like you and me. We've got our jobs that we do, but your job's not everything about you. And taking time to sit down and get to know the folks from Callaway on a personal level, not just necessarily about golf and that part of their lives, is really, really great experience.
So the next question in the list was, what did you learn about the Grandaddy after experiencing it? And to me, the number one thing is how awesome the Callaway people are. Team Callaway is all about taking care of you, making sure you're having an incredible time. They are very passionate about golf. The biggest thing that hit me was how fast those days go by. You are busy from the time you wake up until late into the evening, and you're having so much fun, you don't even realize it. Sleep, don't even think about it. Enjoy the time with your teammates, Callaway crew. They're just all exceptional people. One of the cool things that I didn't realize is you learn from the R&D guys is how far out they're making new equipment and designing new equipment. 2-3 years out is what they're working on. So it's exciting to think about what's coming. And they want the best equipment out there, and the Granddaddy's about the equipment and the people, and it's just exceptional what they do for you when you're on the Granddaddy team, and it's a lot of fun. So in the Hideaway, I said that in the other video. I'm assuming you're going to the Hideaway this year. I haven't heard, but the Hideaway's like no place I've ever played golf. I might never get to play golf at a cool place like the Hideaway again in my lifetime. And I look at those pictures all the time, and it's incredible. So enjoy it.
So what did I learn about the Grandaddy after experiencing it? That it is everything you expect it to be and more. I'll say more, obviously, mostly 99% in a good way, and then a little bit in a tough way, to be totally honest. So yeah, I learned that if you put everything you can into it, leading up to it, and then while you're there, man, it's an unreal experience from the moment of getting selected until continuing on afterwards, still today. Yeah, just obviously an unbelievable experience being there, but the biggest thing, is the people. Make really good friends, made several that are going to be lifelong friends from the experience. So so that was huge, obviously, and for me, it came at a time when I really needed a mental distraction to take me away from everyday life. It was a brutal fucking year, so yeah, it can be something extremely memorable and extremely big for your life, depending on what you're willing to put into it and willing to take from it. So yeah, truly something special from the event, the equipment, but mostly, again, the people, all the Callaway people and all that, obviously, and THP and all that. But the biggest is the lifelong relationships that you can potentially take out of it is big.
What's up, THP? To answer the second question on my Granddaddy question list, again, thanks much more for including me, letting me be part of this. This is a Scrap 22, and the question is, what did I learn about the Grandaddy after experiencing it? And honestly, I think I'm still learning about it, if that even makes sense. Just the magnitude of what it means to people. I think it means something different to everybody. For me, I learned that everything that everybody ever says about how special it is, and it can be emotional and life-changing for some people, and how it impacts people is different for everyone. But the one thing I think that's a common thread is that it is the greatest amateur golf event ever created. I just can't imagine that there would be anything quite like this ever. It's to me means a lot, and certainly honored and humbled to have been a part of it, and very grateful. I think that's the word that I would just put out there, is that I'm very grateful that I had an opportunity to be a part of it, and thanks to THP and JB, Golfer Gal, Callaway, the Hideaway, all the group at the Hideaway is incredible. The Callaway team is something that the pictures can show you what a picture looks like, but until you're actually physically there, just the vibe is amazing. And being treated as they would just one of their buddies, or maybe even one of the pros that come in to be fit. Obviously my swing is something that's not going to be not going to parallel a pro, but they can fit you to anything. And I would just say, to sum it up, what I've learned after experiencing it is that it truly is just an amazing event that it's hard to put into words. I know people hear that a lot. It's hard to put into words, but it really is. I think it's the best thing that's ever happened in my life from a golfing perspective. And, again, just very grateful. So thanks, and good luck to the Legacy team this year. Be rooting for you guys. Take it easy.
What did I learn about the Grandaddy after experiencing it? I'm going to go totally cliche on this and say I learned 100% that you really don't know how cool it's going to be, how fun it's going to be, how mind-blowing, at every turn, the next thing we do, the next thing you get to do is just unreal. And no matter what your expectations are, I'd say have them as high as you want. You're probably going to miss the mark, and it's going to be better than that. And how cool that I got to learn that and feel that. And in addition to that, I would say I learned how much it means to Callaway and how much it means to the Callaway and our Your Zoo crew members that got to experience golfers on a personal level and in such a fun atmosphere and fun setting and bond, and the hugs that we all shared after we got back to the Callaway headquarters, and that was unreal. It was amazing and genuine, and to see a company behind such awesome equipment be that way is incredible. And I also learned how much it means to THP, and I got to feel how much it means, especially the next after my years when I followed, and the light bulbs just go off. Every year something else means more than it did the previous year.
Okay, question 2 from our ASCAP Much More 18. What did you learn about the Grandaddy after experiencing it? 1, nothing can prepare you for it. Mentally, emotionally, none of that. 2, this is about much more? It's about more than golf. Obviously, you have duties and responsibilities with Callaway, Odyssey, the whole brand to kind of review and give your unbiased opinions and be active in that on the equipment and everything about the brand. But it's much more than golf. There's so much more that you can experience, that you can do, that you can become a part of. And for me, it was being involved with a team, being involved with a community, and something bigger than myself that only a select few ever truly get to do and accomplish what we did. And honestly, there's just nothing like it. It's the epitome of everything you could ask for in golf. You have people, you have equipment, you have technology, but it's the people. The people are what drives everything about it and everything about this community, and it makes it great.
One piece of advice I'd give for Team Legacy and any teams going forward would be to not let yourself take things too seriously. I mean, the competition is pretty serious, but just take the time to really appreciate where you are, both the setting of the golf course when you're at ECPC. Just have fun with your teammates, the folks from Callaway, the members at the Hideaway, and just don't let yourself take things too seriously, because it's over quicker than you know, and you really deserve to have fun. So just have a good time out there, and let the memories come to you. Take some time, let them soak in, take some photos, have your teammates take photos of you when you're playing, and just have a blast.
So my advice or recommendations for the legacy Grandaddy X team, I'll give a couple words of wisdom, so to speak. Number one, if Johnny Rodriguez shows up in the hotel bar, grab all your brothers, get down there, and just embrace all the shenanigans that are about to happen. It is worth every second of it. Give the sleep up. Sleep is important. Make sure that you have enough to survive, but don't let it get in your way of having fun. I'm sure a lot of people will tell you this. The event goes by fast. Your time at the ECPC will go by fast. Take the time to get to know the Callaway guys and pick their brains. You don't have to be the most extroverted person, but you get this opportunity to sit on a bus, on some long bus drives, and just ask them questions. Ask them about gear. Ask them about the sport you love. So my advice is to soak it all in. Don't miss those opportunities. If there's something you've always wanted to know about equipment, why something happens this way, take the opportunity. I felt really blessed, and still do, that I was able to ask some questions that I've always just been curious about, get to know the guys and see them just be just as interested about the stuff as we are. You get an inside glimpse that, it's just unbelievable that we're given that opportunity. So be willing to give up some sleep, embrace all that it brings, because it's going to go by fast. So that's my best advice I can give.
All right, last question. What's the one piece of advice you would give Team THP this year and moving forward? First and foremost, don't stress the golf. Go enjoy it. Go enjoy the beautiful course you're going to. You're going to hit great shots, bad shots, and you're going to be all smiles all day long. And that's what it's about. You're going to be in some of the nicest sand bunkers you've ever been in, and I was in quite a few. Still haven't played sand like that since I've been back to Arizona. Take the time to talk to all of the Callaway folks. Take the time to get to know them. Make sure you move around, hang out with them. They're genuine people. They love golf. Your teammates are going to be the same way. I mean, everybody wants to talk equipment and golf, and that's what you're there for. It's fun. Review your equipment as much as possible, even if you sound like a broken record. It's sometimes I'm like, man, I love my Paradigm gear. I've talked about it since I've had it, and you keep plugging along, and the equipment is so good, and you're getting fit by the best on that beautiful range at ECPC. So that's basically my advice for everybody. Oh, big thing. Budget more than you think you're going to need at the Hideaway Pro Shop, because you're never setting foot in there again. And if you are lucky enough to go back as an ASCAP or a player, be thankful, and but take extra money for the Pro Shop. So I wish I had spent some more, and I spent a ton. So have at it. Can't wait to follow you guys, and enjoy the GDX. Talk to you soon.
One piece of advice, man, it's really tough to give just one piece of advice, but I want to stick to the question. If I had to give just one piece of advice, it would be to put everything into it that you can possibly put into it, because the more you're willing and able to put into it, the more you will get out of it. Yeah, I mean, there's a million pieces of advice about, it's going to go fast. Take your time to soak it all in, which is kind of part of what I guess I would say my piece of advice is. But yeah, the one is just put everything into it that you're willing and able to, because then you'll just get more out of it. I put a lot into it leading up to it, again, because I needed it at that point. in my life, so I got a lot out of it. It was huge for me. So yeah, I just finished golfing. I'm a little exhausted and struggling to come up with more, but yeah, put your all into it. You'll get a lot out of it. It can be again, repeating myself a ton, but lasting for the rest of your life, can impact you for the rest of life. If you get a good group, which you most likely will have, and you do it right. So yeah, put your all into it. You'll get a lot out.
What's up, Team GDX? Number 3 question from Much More. What's one piece of advice you'd give to Team THP this year and teams moving forward? I had to think about this one for a little bit because there's a couple that came to mind. And outside of, don't be a Richard, which is something you will hear fairly quickly. The one piece of advice that I can give, I think, would be soak it all in and take some time for yourself at either the beginning of the day or the end of the day to really reflect on what it is that you're experiencing. Everything happens so quickly out there. You fly out, you're meeting your team, you're getting a chance to see some of those guys for the first time. You're going to be whisked away to various different locations, and before you know it, you're on a plane back home. The one thing that I wish I would have done was at the end of the day or the beginning of the next day, take some time and jot down some notes. Write out what thoughts I had going through my head, thoughts about the equipment, thoughts about anything, so that I didn't forget it when I started coming back and trying to write recaps and things of that nature. And the last piece of advice that I will give you is never stand next to Luke at the bar. Good luck, Team THP.
Hey everybody, Mancest. Final third question for me. What's one piece of advice I'd give to Team THP? This is a hard one because there's so many things that if I could, Marty McFly, time machine, go back and tell myself. But the one I would say is enjoy the moment. Don't worry about the forum, even though the forum does need to know. You can update the forum tonight at your hotel, whatever. Enjoy every piece that's there, and that is the fittings, the bus ride, the dinner, the engineering content, whatever. Enjoy all of it. Just take it all in. And that's the same thing on the golf course. If you're not playing well, who gives a crap? You're there to have a good time. And I'll be honest, the more you get in that mode, the better you're going to play, is my feeling too. Like, you're down a hole, oh well, you're not supposed to win. But if you can, great. But enjoy yourself, no matter what. Live in the moment and soak it all in and recap later. Make notes, take notes, whatever you can, but don't get out of what's happening in front of you. Good luck, everybody. It'll be a blast to follow. It'll be an even bigger blast to participate. So good luck.
Morning, THP. Scrap 22. Thanks much more for including me and answering some questions about my experience with the Grandaddy, and this is the third question on the list. It's one piece of advice that I could give Team THP this year and all the years moving forward. It's really hard to put it on one. I think I've made some posts in the Grandaddy threads, and it kind of expands on that. Try to be as concise as I can, but the one thing that I would say is just, if I have to put it to one thing, slow it down as best you can, because it goes so fast and there's so many cool things happening at once. You're still thinking about maybe 2 fittings ago, or maybe a conversation you just had with all the great teammates or Callaway team. I would just say do your best to try to slow it down the best you can to soak it in. And everybody says take a bunch of pictures, do all that. Just do that. Take pictures. It can be mindless, but try to slow it down and enjoy it while you're there, because that's going to be what sticks with you, is all the things that are happening, and I look back and I'm glad that I tried to do that. It's easier said than done. But I would just say, my one piece of advice is slow it down and have fun. Don't take it too, I mean, yeah, of course we want to win. Go, Team Legacy, Team X, the X-Men, but have fun with it too. Because you know what? You're going to play better if you're having fun too. Don't stress. It's all good, man. It's as good as it gets. And again, I'm super grateful to have been a part of it, and maybe have an opportunity to be, part of another experience at some point. But the Grandaddy was, just, I'm just grateful. So thank you, Callaway, THP, JB, Golfer Gal, all my teammates on Grandaddy who were lifelong friends to me, and everybody's, very special to me. So thanks again for the opportunity. Much more. Be rooting for you guys. Go get them in La Quinta. This is your guys' year, okay? I'll be supporting you. Anything I can do, please let me know. All right, thank you, and you guys have a great weekend. Take care.
One piece of advice I would give to future Grandaddy participants this year and next year, hopefully it keeps going. If you have any level of discomfort, you're an introvert, anxiety, anything that makes you feel like you might hold back and it might disrupt or inhibit your experience, try to, I guess, break out of that mold or break out of that comfort zone and give yourself the opportunity to maximize everything you can. It's going to go by really fast. You're not going to realize what happened when it's over, especially if you stay in a comfort zone that keeps you, holds you back from interacting as much as possible, and getting the most out of it. That could definitely be a huge regret if you don't come up with some kind of plan to do more of what you might not normally do.
The one piece of advice I would give to the 2023 Grandaddy members is go. Forget about the golf. Forget about the competition. I know it's hard. I know you want to win. I want you to win. I wanted to win really, really bad. But go. Whatever is happening, go. Jump in the conversations. Stay up late and hang out. And just don't go to bed. Going to bed means that those are time away from people that you're going to want to hang out with. The Callaway guys are amazing, and they're going to want to stay up late and go do stuff. If they want to go get Slurpees at 11 p.m., freaking go, man. Just go. That's all I got to say.
If I had to give any advice to this year's group and those following, if it continues, first off, keep an open mind. If you think you have no clue. And most importantly, make sure this event comes back. Do everything you can to bring it back to the forum, to make sure you show your appreciation to Callaway, to JB and Morgan, and to those that are participating in this event. Make sure you have fun, soak it all in, but again, please make sure you do everything you can to make sure this comes back. Affording this opportunity to others on the forum is something that, if you've ever been to the Grandaddy, that you'll understand once you go, that this event needs to come back and it needs to be experienced by others. We don't deserve this. If you've been and you're going this year, you don't deserve to go. No one deserves to go through this and to experience what you're about to experience. So please just have fun and do your best to try to make it come back.
Okay, what's one piece of advice that you'd give to Team THP this year and any year moving forward? There's no way I can give just one piece. Do your best to make sure it comes back. swag up. Take the time to get to know everyone and anyone. This includes people from Callaway, people from the Hideaway. Your playing hosts are wonderful people, but the people are what makes this great. So prepare emotionally for what's going to happen that day you leave. Nothing really can prepare you, but I'm going on 3 years post Granddaddy here, and I get the chills every single day. Looking up, seeing this hat, seeing the G, seeing every piece that I have up there, talking, texting, seeing the names of members of my team, it still gives me chills and an emotional connection that I cannot fathom. Just be ready for the emotional roller coaster and get excited for it and prepare for just memories that are going to last you a lifetime.
So the next one is one piece of advice I'd give Team THP or any other team going forward is, it's kind of hard because there's multiple things that I can come up with, but I think the main one is just kind of live by the golden rule. Treat the event, treat people, treat the experience, treat whatever's happening to you. Treat it like you want to be treated, right? Just live by the golden rule and do unto others as you would want them to do unto you, right? So whether that's with interacting with people, whatever's happening, just put yourself in the situation of how would I consume this? What if I was on the other end of this conversation, the other end of this experience? What would I want to see? What would I want to, be involved in? And hopefully that allows you to set the foundation to not only have fun, enjoy the moment, and just completely be blown away by everything that's being presented and gifted to you. But hopefully that allows you to leave Callaway with a positive image of you and your team. You lay the foundation so that this can continue and we can bring future teams along so they can kind of experience a little bit of what you just experienced. So I think if you start there, that kind of can grow positively. Because if you don't, I think, you be a creature of your habit and you can kind of get in your own way and, this thing can get sideways on you a little bit. And, unfortunately, we've had people who just, the experience wasn't what they thought it would be, but, you can't please everybody. But I think my biggest suggestion is if you just kind of live by the golden rule and present yourself as positive as you can, I think only good things can happen. I'm a firm believer of, you throw negativity out there, negativity comes to you, right? So glass half full. Listen, you're playing with house money. You had a free experience that you've been blessed with. So there should be no reason for you to have anything but fun, but a great time, but to build relationships. And sure, you're not going to get along with everybody or whatever it is, but just have fun, enjoy it, set the foundation, allow the next crew behind you to be hopefully blessed and wowed just like you are. So that would be my biggest takeaway, my biggest suggestion, my biggest advice would be just, live by the golden rule, have fun, and you'll be rewarded.